Good morning and welcome to the daily news trends on SSiTV Africa. Global economy. The global economy is now projected to expand by 5.4% in 2021, reflecting an upward revision of forecasts earlier in the year and after a sharp contraction of 3.6% in 2020, largely due to the coronavirus pandemic. The United Nations World Economic Situation and Prospects mid-year report also finds that amid rapid vaccination and continued fiscal and monetary support, the world's largest economies of the United States and China are well set on a path to recovery. This, however, is contrasted by growth outlooks that remain fragile in many parts of the developing world, including sub-Saharan Africa, where COVID-19 vaccine rollout remains low. Leaked audio clips create an impression of the ANC in crisis. African National Congress Deputy Secretary General Jesse Duarte says the leaked clips of their special National Executive Congress meeting to the media over the weekend have created an impression of an organization in crisis. She says the National Executive Congress has expressed concern about members who allegedly leaked the clips. Duarte briefed the media at the party headquarters at Lutuli House in Johannesburg on Tuesday. SABC to appear before Parliament on Wednesday. The South African Broadcasting Corporation will brief the Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Communications on its 2021-22 annual performance plan and budget later on Wednesday. Last week, the SABC also told Parliament that recent retrenchments would not have any impact on its coverage of the local government elections in October. Both the Group Executive, Madoda Maqekwe, and Group Executive for News, Patiswa Makgopeni, assured members of the committee that the organization had adequate resources to cover the elections. Many health workers still need the jab. One Johannesburg vaccination center says it is prepared to handle the influx of people wanting to get vaccinated when phase 2 of the COVID-19 vaccination rollout program kicks off on Monday. With fears the third wave of COVID-19 is upon us, the country's vaccine rollout is simply not where it should have been, with the government missing some deadlines. Fewer than 500,000 healthcare workers have been vaccinated, and there are 1.5 million who need to get the jab. Republicans set to oust Trump critic Cheney from leadership. Wednesday's vote by the House Republicans over ousting anti-Trump conservative Liz Cheney from the leadership role will almost certainly confirm that the party out of power in Washington is casting its lot with the former U.S. president. 18 months before crucial midterms and 3 years before the next presidential race, the Republican Party appears intent on punishing one of its own because she refuses to embrace Donald Trump's false claims that Democrats stole the 2020 elections. Republicans urge it's about unity and that Cheney hammering on about Trump and what she calls his dangerous and anti-democratic cult of personality has done nothing to bring a fractured party together following a contentious election that left them in the political hinterland. Cheney, a Wyoming conservative and the daughter of former Vice President Dick Cheney, is expected to be voted out of her role as the number 3 House Republican in the morning vote by the party's conference. Caster Semenya to do 50 hours of community service after reckless driving charge. Top athlete Caster Semenya is expected to perform 50 hours of community service after arrest on a charge of reckless driving. The 30-year-old appeared at the Pretoria Magistrate Court last week after being arrested for allegedly driving recklessly in her SUV on the N14 highway. She was granted bail of 500 rand, said North Gauteng National Prosecuting Authority spokesperson Lumka Mahanjana. The case was postponed to August 26 for a report from the National Institute for Crime Prevention and Regeneration of Offenders. She pleaded guilty to the charge, Mahanja said. Thank you for tuning in on the Daily News Trends.